Hi everyone, it's Open House Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I never do this alone. I have the ladies. Hi ladies.
Hi.
Hello Mariah. Hi, into building.
Yo.
This is our yesterday's crew. Good that we're doing something similar.
Yeah, it's the same set as yesterday.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
How are you doing, YK?
I'm fine. I want to thank for last place. He helped me put curls
Your hair?
in my hair
Nice.
this morning. So I feel
Very curly. But I see it's a blue week, so you've not changed your polish, so you're still going to wear blue
it's
color.
too, you know, I had to go to the funeral yesterday.
How was the
and,
funeral?
It was
Very sad.
Sad,
Right.
yes. And I was going to give a shout out to Edilawani and Jumoke
Jumoke.
for the ribbons and roses. I really had a great time. Flavor performed,
I saw a
Yinka
video of you
Davis.
dancing.
I really, I forgot to give it out yesterday.
Okay.
It was, you know, because I actually do it every February 14.
Oh, wow.
It was my partner that introduced me, because he's very friendly with Edilawani,
Okay.
to the ribbons and roses. That first year, I think I watched, I've forgotten his name. Hey, see, old Deju.
And we cannot say anything because we did not go.
I remember his name. But
I didn't even realize that they do it every year, because Toko was saying something about that they've always been inviting us, and I don't even remember ever being invited for that. But it's cool, Sha. How are you doing, Nima?
No, I don't do Valentine. Nima is very well.
Why don't you do Valentine?
What happened in
Not,
Valentine's
I
Day?
don't do Valentine's. I'm a Muslim.
Oh.
What's that supposed to mean? You started, there are Muslims that do Valentine. You don't
That's their
God,
preference, but I don't do Valentine.
Let's just
Me,
say
I
that.
don't do Valentine. I didn't used to do Valentine until I met my partner.
Since you
Oh,
fell
did
in
you give
love.
us the gist of how things have
Oh, you
changed
guys.
now? Oh, we talked about it.
Ah,
Yeah.
very romantic.
You're
Right,
very-
you are approaching 60.
Sit down there. Life begins at 50.
So, Nima, any plans for the weekend? Since you're not coming tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'm not too. And this election weekends, I have not seen my parents in over a month, and they're already playing the.
And they live in Lagos.
They do.
Ah, that's terrible.
They're already blackmailing me. It's stress and work.
Over a
I
month.
seriously.
Anyway, let's
When my
move on.
father was alive, if you go 1 week without seeing him, the history.
That was the.
I was 37 when he died. The history you will hear of your life. You didn't come last week. So me, I'm even surprised.
We have very little time. Let me move on to Mariam. Mariam,
yeah.
how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I had a little thing this morning. I'm allergic to, like
Airborne issues.
yeah, insecticides, these cleaning agents that they use to clean the house. When I'm there, my face starts burning as
Right.
if they poured pepper on my face.
Wow.
And I know that a lot of people don't understand it and they think that I'm just being difficult. Even my husband, it took him a
Just
while.
reply me. You know I've not come
Even
for
my
you.
husband, it took him a while to understand that this was a major issue for me.
It's an allergy. It can
It
kill you now.
is. Yes.
It can kill you.
So I want to thank Mariah for being so understanding this morning. She gave me her office to do my makeup on
Foreigner.
my hair, and I didn't get to read the
Igbo
papers.
girl.
But to Nima, I'm hoping that you get to learn more about allergies.
I'm
and how
actually
it affects
allergic
people.
to
I
smell as well.
understand totally.
We have to go on a break.
Learn
Thank
to
you.
adjust socially.
All right, ladies, it's Thursday.
understand.
We should be in a very happy mode because we're talking about mother tongue today.
Yes.
How you're teaching your children to learn their mother tongue. But first, let's go through the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right
We'll
back.
be right back.
Mikey, we're back. You might want to comport yourself. Thank you very much. We're going to start with a punch. Only an act of God can stop Saturday's election, says INEC.
I have trust
Stop
issues.
inciting us to disobey orders, Buratai tells presidential candidates. Don't drag military into politics, or PDP advises Chief of Army Staff. You can see a picture here of the distribution of electoral materials across different states. The human interest story here in Punch, Lagos motorist commuters lament road closure after the train derailment. Body bag threat, ICC may prosecute El Rufai, says Falano. Banks' non-performing loans hit 1.79 trillion. Imo, Lagos, Kano missing result sheets found in, guess where? Gombe, Kwara, and Oyo. Suspended CGN's appeal suffer further delay as $30,000 in Onogen's account is not bribe money, says San. Headsmen attack Agatu community in Benue, kill 16. So, which story are we taking? Should we just go to the major headline? INEC, only an act of God can stop Saturdays. Oh, the human
Why
interest.
don't you have it?
Gunmen.
The human
The
interest story.
motorist commuters
Yes,
lament road
along
closure.
the-
Yes, I do actually. It's the Agege Ashade Road. Sorry, I was looking at tweets.
Already.
So a train derailed there. because of a faulty rail. So they've closed the rail, so the motorists cannot commute. They can't go across.
Crossover.
So it's costing them a lot of money because transportation has increased, and transportation has increased because traffic has increased. So they are begging the government.
The truth is that government has practically almost shut down for elections. Everybody, there's nothing going on. There's really, Nima, there's
I wonder why
nothing
I came
much
to drop
going
the
on.
story. You see this particular road you're talking about, it's a major road to the Agege people, Alimosho, and that's the largest residential local government in Lagos. You can't shut down that road.
And they are telling
the
them
hardship
that
it will cause.
they are not going to open it till after election. After election is in March.
That's what I'm saying.
Responsibility.
Between now
government. Responsibility.
Let's move on to the new Telegram. But bloody day, Zamfara, 66 killed as villagers bandits clash. Buratai to Atiku, we won't disobey Buhari's order. Obviously, he's the commander-in-chief. Cooking, cleaning, raise pollution, risk in homes. Polls, FG begins payment of workers' February salaries. How nice. And then another story, FG declares Friday public holiday. Okay, so which story? Let's just go straight to the... Huh?
Cooking, cleaning concerns Miriam. So the researchers in the United States have said that cleaning and other routine household activities generate chemicals that pollute homes. Of course, you know, these cleaning agents that we use are made up of certain chemicals. I've experienced it before, combining 2 of them in my toilet, and I almost died. And
Who read the major headline story?
we read it.
The bloody day. What happened there?
So there were several bloody affairs happening. One in Zamfara State where a village was attacked, and by the time 7 villagers were killed, the villagers thought it wise to resist them, and they were able to get 56 of the attackers down. That's Boko Haram that attacked down. And in Benue State, the headers attacked the farmers, and you know we have about 16.
Some said 16.
No, the one in Borno, where they attacked coal fetchers, and that's 16. But in the Benue killing, that's about
and all that. Okay, let's move on to Vanguard. Unlawful orders, withdraw your statement, and Army Chief tells Atiku. Polls, don't use military to intimidate Nigerians, says Are Adams. Hijab, MSSN drags Ogun court to court. NCAA threatens to sanction Detok Telecoms operators. Elections, I stand with Buhari on ballot box snatching, says Tinubu. How I pay $30,000 into an against domiciliary account, says AGI San. And headsmen kill 16 in Agatu, Benue. But let's take the major headline. This issue of Buratai and Atiku. Who has that story? Nobody read that story.
We read. So in reply to the president's order that snatched the boss at the risk of your life, Atiku has given an order to the military that, you know, you are under the military. There's a law that forbids you from obeying.
Just give them a message.
From obeying such unlawful orders or orders that, you know, threaten. And Buratai replied him that, look, it's sad of people like you trying to get into office to encourage the military to disobey rightful.
I listened to Festus Kiamu, I listened to Ashwaju Timudu, and they were saying that they stand with the president, saying that what he said was not unlawful. I mean, everybody thought that he could have chosen better words.
What the president said was they should shoot on sight if they see something like that.
No, he didn't say that. Those were not his...
And that if you snatch,
you can pay your life.
Shoot on sight was Secondus's words.
Yes.
Excuse me. If you snatch ballot, do it at the risk of your life.
That
means what?
That's not shit on sight.
No, that's
means what?
That's a statement of fact, YK, like I said yesterday.
He didn't say beat them till they drop the box. So he said,
But
do it at the risk of your life.
Yesterday.
Now, and Atiku says, don't say that. And now Buratai has asked, don't tell us what we are. Don't tell us not to kill.
He's not saying so.
They are not going to disobey our
commander-in-chief. That's what he said.
Okay.
You cannot tell the military to be disloyal to the legitimate.
So he said, don't tell us.
Legitimate office holder.
In layman's terms, in my terms, that means don't tell us not to kill.
Okay. Yeah, you understand. That's fine. It's fine.
I said my words. Okay.
Don't
tell us not to do it at the risk of their lives.
Don't tell us to disobey. That's what he said.
Simple.
Say,
He said, and take it back.
Literally, without mischief.
Take it back. Take those words back, or else.
Can we move on?
Take those words back, or else.
Let's move on to Daily Sun. All right. February 23rd, sacrosanct for poll, says federal government. My government won't be run by cabal, says Atiku. Imo polls, court bars APC from fielding candidate in Okigwe. Buhari accuses PDP of destroying civil service. And APC won't field candidates in Rivers, and they're insisting that the Supreme Court has ruled,
Yes.
and they're going to stand by the law, which is great. So February 23rd is sacrosanct according to INEC.
I like the
Unless
fact that
an
INEC
act
is-
of God.
So
This Nigeria,
but I'm
anything
saying
can be
I
act
have-
of
was
God.
an act of God, Abi.
Act
I
of
have
God
trust
can be
issues, so
flawed.
I need
What's
to.
wrong
I have
with trust issues?
serious
Act of
trust
God is
issues.
Wait, I can't hear anybody. Yes.
Act of God can be flawed, fire,
We know.
anything. So it's clear. Let's not take it out of context.
In
and try
Nigeria,
and be
anything can be
trusting.
act of God.
I think INEC has proven so far to be very independent of the present administration in power. They've not been influenced to kowtow to APC in Rivers or Zamfara. They followed the court orders and done the needful. I think we should
should
trust
agree.
them. We should start to trust.
Even the president is annoyed with INEC now
He lost
for
money.
cancelling the.
He
Yeah.
lost money.
Yeah,
Maybe that should answer the question when people always say that maybe the sitting administration is in collusion with INEC. Maybe
But
now we can see that.
But we don't
they are definitely
really
independent.
know the in-depth information about all these issues. What we just know is that it was cancelled. It's after the elections. We now know what really was postponed. It's after the election we now know exactly what really transpired. Whether Abi-
excuse me.
Right, yes, YK.
A few days, a couple of days before, I saw the interview where Yakubu said, nothing will stop
what I'm
this
saying.
election
I've
from
got
going
trust
on.
issues.
Nothing. February 16, we are all going to the polls.
Yeah. I heard
And he's saying the same thing on
And
23rd.
now he's saying an
2:30
act
a.m.
of God.
In fact, I woke up, it was one cable network I saw.
You
It. I
hold
said,
on, we're already at the polls.
Don't worry.
We're waiting to vote.
They have
Before
said
you
it is
cancel.
sacrosanct. Let's move on now to...
you were at the polls.
3 p.m. during Iwu's time.
Who?
Iwu the
Iwu.
former
Please don't talk about 2011. This is 2019.
Just
YK,
saying, just
YK.
saying.
If they
Let
are
us,
still doing what they did in 2011 in
Worst case
2019,
scenario.
then we are not. We are reverse.
unfortunately, can we take one story, please? The Guardian. Fresh controversy over Buhari's shooting order. Leah Sharibu's family accuses government of religious bias. Suspected herdsmen killed 16. INEC opposed Supreme Court's ruling on Rivers APC. Electoral violence remain INEC's key challenge. INEC opposed Supreme Court's ruling on Rivers APC. Electoral violence remain INEC's key challenges ahead of polls. So Leah Sharibu, this week was obviously a year since it happened, and the pressure is on for the government to ensure that she gets back alive and well. Let's quickly take this day. We can't disobey Buhari's order, Buratai tells Atiku. We are good to go, says INEC. NBS, credit to private sector declines 15.1 trillion. Right, so I think the major story really is the fact that INEC says they are ready on 23rd.
Yeah, one paper actually talked about the public holiday.
On
But
Friday.
what I heard on the news is it's a work-free day. So TVC, come to work tomorrow.
No, they've said it.
Work-free day.
I think banks are
Says,
not.
Banks should go to work.
Essential services provider, except the
Yeah,
banks.
TVC.
We never go on holidays. We're always
I'm
here.
just telling you that
TV doesn't take a
it's
break.
not public holiday. It's work-free day.
TV doesn't go on break anyway, YK. So thanks for the alerting us.
Shooting ball.
Let's go on a break. It's Thursday. That's why they're being very naughty. Don't worry. We're going to come back. We'll discuss the International Mother Tongue Day, and later we continue our conversation with the celebrity couple that their news broke out over the weekend. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Man, all right, thanks for staying with us. So, today we're celebrating International Mother Tongue Day, and we'd like to discuss with the ladies and find out how are you ensuring that your children are learning your mother tongue? What are you doing? Our viewers still can call in and let us know how you're doing it. You can call us on 070-806-68014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect, please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweet. So we've discussed this in the past, I think with Professor Oduwale when she was here, she's passed on right now, the late Professor Oduwale. And she was trying to make us understand how important it is for us to speak our mother tongue. We all know how important it is, but how exactly are we actually doing it? Do we teach our children? Do we ensure? Baike, I should come to you. Does Riley speak Yoruba?
Nope.
So you are obviously not passed on your
Let me
mother
start it like this. I learned Yoruba on the
tongue.
streets.
Yeah.
You know, from listening to people.
Right.
Because first and foremost, in school, we were not allowed to speak Yoruba.
Yes, vernacular.
Those days.
in those days, you were not allowed. It was called vernacular. You would get fined if you... So you didn't... So I learnt it from people, listening to people.
Right.
And then, unfortunately, I didn't do that with Rolari. Because my own parents didn't teach me. My father fluent in Yoruba, but my mother couldn't speak. So it was my father that was supposed to speak.
Right.
But he didn't. And so when we wanted to speak Yoruba, we spoke it so the kids would not understand what we were saying.
It was your secret
gossip
code.
without the kids understanding. Not knowing that we were actually disenfranchising
Exactly,
the
I
kids.
like the way you
You know? Now, like this 3 months Rolari has been in town, she's doing Yoruba lessons.
Oh, wow.
She's, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm hoping she's going to continue when she gets, but she's
Again, because
complaining.
she didn't live in Nigeria. If she had lived here,
Well,
maybe she have actually picked up on the streets like you did. So I think a lot of parents today depend, leave the training of the language to make it live it passively for the kids, because it's not from the house helps in school. It's not like you're actually speaking the language. Because I grew up the same way. My parents, my father, who was is an Africanist, was telling us that don't speak Yoruba in the household, and it was like, what kind of life is that? Unfortunately,
It's that colonial thing
Mentality
that they
then,
had,
yes.
that indoctrination that they had now transferred to us. But I think that our own generation are now ensuring, not our own, me, I've gone, your generation,
should ensure. Yes.
they are ensuring.
Yes, Nima.
Me, I had to learn the Esako language living in Lagos. So already I know how it feels to learn it as learn your mother tongue as a third or second language. And it's even much more harder for me teaching my daughter my language, because she's more English. That's what they teach her in school. The TV channels are churning out more. I push her to learn Nigerian languages. So her nanny is Hausa. I make sure she's with them, and I say to them,
really?
speak Hausa to her whenever she's in your house.
For real?
So a few times she's bailed me out when I was trying to argue an Okada rider with Hausa. And my son now understands Ijebu and Yoruba very well, because who takes care of him speak. And I say, speak your language with him. But once they come into the house, mommy, and I try. Myself and my husband now is our secret code as well. But my daughter, she's totally uninterested.
with Esako.
She will tell you, I'm teaching her the numbers, and tomorrow she'll come again. Hey, tell me 2 again. I'll be like, 1 and 2 is something you should do for you.
So in the case of someone like Mariam and Tokwe, who your husband is Yoruba, you're from the north. Tokwe is Yoruba. Her husband is from I think Edo, Benin. Like, which language do you then decide to speak in the house?
My husband doesn't understand anything in his language.
Yoruba?
I don't know. Edo, the Edo
is Edo
language,
also?
yes.
Oh, I thought it was Yoruba.
He doesn't speak the language. I don't think he understands anything. And my son has picked up Yoruba from school. And he says to me that, Mommy, I'm Yoruba, I am not from Edo State, you know. And he's doing very well. But you know, Chimamanda said something. She says the way we say we teach our children languages is that they can say the numbers
Words.
or they can say the alphabets. You know, they are saying it academically. They
Right.
understand it, but they're not engaging and re-engaging in the language. And that is where a lot of us...
So you know where the problem comes?
language.
Let me tell you the problem. Most of us don't think in our languages. We all think in English.
Yes.
So when you think in English, the first thing that's going to come out of your mouth is English.
Yeah.
When you're speaking to your children, because that is, you see,
No.
the people on the streets.
I think in the Esako language a lot. All the proverbs I say, a lot, because that's how my father communicates with you. He will throw you a proverb, 2 weeks, you are still thinking about the message.
That's engaging now.
So I think what is
If you are
missing in
thinking
my
of
house
proverbs,
is
that's what you are
that
thinking about every day.
no. That's how I think. Whenever I want to say something to you,
You
it
think
comes
in that
first to me
language?
in my language. So
that's
eventually,
good.
when I want to drive home the point, I will say it in my language.
I think
before,
what
know.
I can say
So
that many of us don't think like that.
my children, I think what is missing is putting them in that environment where that is the language. Because I didn't learn my language from home, from school. I learned it from my mother insisting that is the language within the house. So
My
there's no
mother-in-law
communication.
the other day was saying, and I'm like, what is that?
That's
Atupa.
lantern.
Yeah, is it because in the Lagos language you don't usually use you just make
Yes,
it
we
like,
have
but
mix.
the conk Yoruba, we don't really speak that around
What
here.
is
I don't know.
Akpa?
But you know, Maria,
Akpa is a mark.
I'm even wondering, what do you guys
Akpa is
think
mark.
Bag.
beyond the sentimental
No, it's
reasons
not.
to learn our
Sorry,
mother tongue?
wait, what I say? Okay, let me let her.
Beyond the sentimental reasons why we need to, do you think it's important? Because I'm like, we live in a global village. It's fantastic that we can speak. It's fantastic for sentimental reasons that we can speak. But you know, for economic reasons, we have people now learning Mandarin. because we're looking to China now as the superpower, so we want to equip our children, you know, to learn languages that can
At the risk-
foster, you know,
So,
better economy for
at the
them.
risk of losing
Wait,
our
let me ask
identity.
you,
So
a
if you do
French man
what
would rather just,
No.
or a Chinese man or a
Because he's
German
looking
man
at
would just rather
economy.
learn English and not learn German because
No, what
he
I'm
wants to
saying
be
is that
global.
we understand learning that for sentimental reasons. But the thing is that the way of the world, things are changing. We are interacting with each other outside our immediate communities now. It pays us sometimes even better to learn some of these international languages because that is how we're dealing with what we're dealing with
I'm
right
not saying
now.
don't learn international language, but your language is the most important.
It's your history.
Let me tell you, because what is happening is our languages are dying.
Right.
Because we are speaking English or French
perfecting it.
and Chinese.
Okay, like in Plateau
Look,
State, you have
the Chinese
over
man, do you think
many-
the Chinese man is learning Yoruba? Or Hausa?
He doesn't need it for
Yeah.
commercial purposes.
He doesn't need it.
But there are a few of them, they'll tell you, like when you go to Dubai, there are some places they'll speak Hausa to you. They're learning because there are lots of Hausa people coming. So they're learning that commercial.
tell you
There are some
something.
places in Dubai, they speak Yoruba because they already interact with Yoruba people. So I'm saying until maybe we have something a lot more than our language and we have people coming to this, you know, to our country for different
Right.
things. But places like Plateau State and the South, just in Plateau State, you have 23 local government with different languages. Which one are we going to pick?
Okay, let me take this call from Yakub. Yakub, are you there?
Yeah, Murayo, good
Good
morning.
morning. Thanks for calling.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Good morning to the rest of the team in the studio. You see, the language issue that we are talking about, look at China today. Everything that they teach their children, they taught them in their own language. That is why they are the world economics today. But I give it to Hausa and the other language. It is only Yoruba we always have much problem. You will see somebody have a tribal mic, come to your office, and then knew that you are a Yoruba person. The first thing the person will say is begin to speak English to you. Sometimes I do correct them. Baba, you are a Yoruba now, speak Yoruba to me. You know that I'm sorry, I don't know that you are a Yoruba. Okay, who am I? I thought you are a Igbo. How could you thought that I'm a Igbo? You first spoke down my language to me. I will be the one to correct you that I'm not a Yoruba person.
Right.
So, Moyaro, for me, it would be very good that we take that into our education
So-
curriculum
right.
because individual language is very, very important.
Right.
So that
Thank you very
everybody-
much, Yakub. You see, I don't want, we know the problems, we know the issues, we all know, but what I would like us to drill up right now is how do we begin to teach the children? What are you doing in your individual homes to teach your children? In my own house right now, I just made it a law that the only two channels the kids are allowed to watch, the cartoon and the Yoruba channel. Those are the only two channels they're allowed to watch.
Ooh, the content
They
on the
watch
Yoruba
the Yoruba content actually is richer than English. They don't do a lot of, although modern day Yoruba is trying to be all English, but they're usually more cultural context of what they do. So those are the two channels the kids are allowed to watch, just to help them to engage Yoruba. The house help, I changed the non-Yoruba house help, but a Yoruba one to engage them in Yoruba. There's grandma in the house, I'm in the house. We try to speak it more, so that should help. My daughter now understands. My first daughter, she understands when you tell her something, but she can't speak it, but we're going to gradually get to that point. So I'd like to get our viewers to call into let us know what they are doing in their own houses so that people can help others out there
So in my
to
house,
ensure. Yes, how you doing?
So in my house, it's Hausa. They speak.
Okay.
With me, their nanny
Your
speaks
kids
Hausa.
can speak Hausa?
Well, as I said, you know, they can
Speaking
they
it
can
passively.
speak passively, but not as well as I do or they are meant to. And then recently we found the Hausa Kids channel. So they do the cartoons, the regular cartoons, but
fantastic.
then they have
Interpreted
in
in
Hausa.
Hausa,
right.
So the words that come out is.
So do you know proverbs in Hausa?
I don't.
Right.
But my daughter has picked up consonants because there's a playful way that they do it on TV. So she's picked up alphabets and consonants in Hausa.
Because my friend, she speaks Yoruba very well. She lives in England and she looks after Timidire for me sometimes. And I've begged her, don't speak to him in English. Because I want him to learn, you know, where I lost
language.
out with Rolari.
Yeah.
Because it was my
language.
fault, not
Right.
hers. I want
Influence.
My
Let me
grandson.
take this call from Justice. Justice, are you there? Hello? Oh, we lost that call. Yes.
So for me,
Mariam.
the
Nima.
way out is to take my children more often to my parents.
Right.
Because unfortunately, their grandparents don't speak so much Esako to them. But my dad is someone that, you know, I know the way I was raised. It was the language at home, and they would do it easily with them. So I'll try
All right.
to
Good.
take them on
When you haven't
holidays.
seen them
Right, do
on
we have any
holiday.
tweets?
She hasn't seen them in 1 month.
Eh,
Can you
they
imagine?
can spend their long
Yeah,
holiday there.
They are tweets. So
Are they on
they
the language?
tweets. Adetokun Abdullah says, even in the case when both parents speak different languages, the environment will prevail and there is a possibility they can learn and understand both languages. Andrew from Stratham says, in fact, speaking your mother tongue is an indication of the Ajebota factor. The more the mother tongue of or Nigerian language, the less the Ajebota
Let me squeeze in this last call from Akure. Morning, are you there?
Yes, good morning, Morayo.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
All right, first, before I continue, I would like to have my clap because last time I called for the first time, nobody clapped.
Oh,
Okay, now, I want to tell you it's important to teach mother tongue, and there's no way I will make my point without referring to my own family. I was in the broadcasting for a while, and God so good, well, I learned in a training school, FRC, and they helped my English a lot. When I was growing up, my father just said it that, hello, people, because we were just so pressurized by the neighboring children who were always talking to their parents like, oh, welcome, daddy, welcome, mommy. The first thing we tried is that dad said, never. You must not say nonsense. You speak Ondo dialect. That's my job in this house, to teach you Ondo dialect. Then when you go to school, your teachers teach you English. So I think the fault we have in our generation now is that we do not share that responsibility.
Yeah, exactly.
When we leave the English for the teachers in school, and then we leave the dialect for the parents at home. First of all, who do the children listen to first at home? Is it not
parents?
It's
the parents, right. You're very correct.
At home. So we should start with us.
Thank you very much, Folashade. I have to even give special credit to my secondary school, Corona Secondary School. I actually learned how to write Yoruba. And actually, I'm very good at writing Yoruba.
I'm very good
I
at
write it better than
writing
speaking.
Yoruba.
So I give credit to my school.
It's good.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, we continue the conversation we started yesterday. The impact of social media on our marriages. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So we continue our conversation yesterday about the trending story about the particular celebrity couple whose husband trolled the wife on social media for neglecting their child. Now we'll be looking at different angles in managing our marriages. Should we always bring our issues on social media? You can join the conversation on 070-806-68014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. But before we do that, Mariam had something to say.
Yeah, so my auntie, Mrs. Dorcas Temlong, thanks for watching, has corrected me. We have 17 local governments in Plateau State and 53 languages.
And they're not going to lynch you.
So which one are we going to take? 53.
All right. So, but aside from the issue of social media, but there's a bigger issue within that story. On when you marry somebody who's almost like a high flyer, either man or woman, high flyer, your spouse is a high flyer, and there's a child involved, and we were discussing yesterday, and there's a need for, what the spouse feels, there's a need for you to sacrifice, to stay at home and be with that child. Now, who should sacrifice, and how do you arrive at that decision on who should do that sacrifice? That's one. And number two, is it appropriate for you to bring this issue out on social media? Because obviously social media is a tool we all use today. I mean, as much as we hate to believe it, but it is the tool of the day. Everybody doing everything, getting their businesses on social media, getting married on social media, having their family, our whole lives are on social media. So maybe it's the new way of resolving problems. Because if he hadn't put it on social media, we wouldn't be talking about it, and we might not be able to help somebody else that's going through that issue. So social media is the way today. So was it right for him to do that? And what are your thoughts?
It depends on the objective. If the objective is to shame the person into submission or to listen to you, then you go to social media. But if you truly just want to correct a particular thing, you look for other means. I always say that when it comes to marriage or a relationship where love is supposed to bind you, the objective of both of you is to protect each other. If truly the love balance, you understand, is to protect each other's interest, because there are two different people coming from two different backgrounds. And this is not talking about high flyer alone. Two different people coming from two different backgrounds. Most likely, you're beyond 20 years already. So your habits have already formed you from your father's house and from her father's house. And both of you are coming together to become one. Of course, you have to be more accommodating and more compromising than that. It will not take it will not happen overnight, especially when you marry, let's say 21, like YK criticized yesterday. If you marry at 21, of course, you are still developing certain habits. And the other party, maybe older or even the same age, should be more accommodating, understanding that you will form and stop and get mature and stop to form certain habits and be more accommodating of each other at over 30. So it's either you want to wait until you are 30 to marry, or you marry at that age and be ready to compromise and bend.
Okay, Nima, let me bring this. Somebody had called me a few months back and was telling me a story about a woman who left an oil and gas company job. I think I mentioned it on TV before. An oil and gas company job because of her kids. She had to move to Warri. Her husband had a good job in Lagos State. And she was being offered so much, but her husband did not allow her to go to Warri. Now, it's been many years. And she says every single day she wakes up regretting that why did she not take that job? Because she feels she's not fulfilled. Though her kids, she was home with the kids, she stayed home with the kids, but she doesn't feel fulfilled. So in the case of the lady, the case study we're using, if she now sits home and says, okay, I have a daughter, many years down the line, fast forward 35 years old, will she feel fulfilled? Like, listen, have I been a good actor? Have I been in the industry? Have I done what I'm supposed to do in the industry? She'll feel like she hasn't done anything.
Yeah. You know, and there's something that always say is that be sure of who you are or get to know who you are first before you decide to be partner to someone else. Because recently I saw someone put on social media that for those men that you marry a woman that you know is a career woman and then you bring her home and then now want to force her to be a stay-at-home mom. When you're dating her, you know this is who she is. She's on the road, she's going to work, she's going for meetings, and then when you get married, immediately you want her to just drop that person. So first of all, have a discussion with this person. This is what I want for my life. This is what I want my wife to be and the sort of mother I would like for her to be. Is that the person you are? Is that what you're looking to do?
Right.
Yeah, you know, there's one. And then there's second one that people, as they grow older, they also change their minds. So you marry someone that says, I would like to be a stay-at-home mom. You go out, you do the work, I'm at home with the children. But she's staying home, probably the children have grown, and she's saying, the next thing is let's sit down and reevaluate.
Right.
Do I need to now go out there? But you see that social media bringing it out. Yesterday I was just looking through. They say that before you do anything, and I think we should take it to social media, they say, is it true? Before you put any information out, first of all, think, is it true? Is it necessary? And is it kind? If it's none of these three, then there's no way we should put it.
I don't believe in putting your
business
on social media. I do not believe in it in any way. Me, I can put my picture. That's the most I will do. I will smile or I will carry my grandson. But anything that's happening between my partner and I or my friend and I
or your siblings
or my sibling, never. Never. Because people who don't even know you are going to start to comment on your life. And then they will comment
to the cause problem.
To the point where you will be annoyed with the person that is commenting. Maybe you are the one that put it there.
Yeah, right.
Because someone will say, are you a mad person? And you look, do you know me? Why are you calling me a mad person? But you gave him the right.
Right.
By putting your business
Let me bring in this angle because I got a call from somebody who was telling me that listen, she's been married to her husband. She was a high flyer. She was doing very well at the company, and the husband made her to stop work because of the kids. Then she started a store. Husband made her stop running the store because of the kids. Now she feels unfulfilled. She feels she's just a housewife. So I told her, I said, listen, you need to redefine what a housewife is. Because if you keep looking at a housewife, the role of a housewife as a condescending role, if you still keep looking at something degrading, you never go past it. If you now make it look as if being a housewife is the best thing in the world, redefine it, because nothing is but the meaning we attach to it. If you attach a fantastic meaning to being a housewife and take other causes, where you're encouraging people like me and everybody to stop our 9 to 5 and stay at home, start a cause for that, you'll be surprised. Your husband begins to respect you and appreciate that, oh, this thing is actually more important than I thought. And so I felt that was the advice I gave to her. Well, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. Do you think?
Perfect advice that she gave to her, because if the objective of why she wants to have a job is to have money to take care of the children, and that need is taken care of, rearrange your priorities, then count your blessings in the case of the other lady. So some people would say, okay, she's a high flyer, she's already, you met her in the course of her career, let's separate issues. stop thinking about what he's thinking. Once you bring children into this world, I'm quoting YK here now, you take full rest. It is a decision that is deliberate. If you know you are not ready to face that child, because you have to give a child 100%.
Right.
At least, so for a woman who wants to have a career, whose dream is to have a career, and already she has children,
Delay.
you have to find that support system. And you will delay until that support system is certain. Because you know, these days now, we don't even trust our minders anymore. You have to find a support system that works. Some people, even some of our colleagues, you have a support system with your mom. Some people were lucky. I am lucky I have a good neighbor.
There's just a little
Tamara, yeah.
danger I have with the way you're explaining this, which is that we should not just necessarily say that a career woman, a woman who's going out, is not necessarily a good mother. That's not true. There are women who are in the, doing their careers and are still able to give their
Never
children.
said that, Miriam.
No, I'm
This
just
is what
saying
I'm
that
saying. I said,
I get it. What I'm saying that
Hang in there.
there's a danger to the interpretation of what you
Right,
said.
okay.
I get it, but there's some people who will say, oh, you see what Nima is saying? If you're going to now be a mother, make sure everything, stops for the mother. I'm saying that's an interpretation that can be gotten. So I'm just trying to clarify.
I'm not saying everything should stop. Let me put it, just because you said it, so that it's not taken like that. You don't stop being a career, or having a career makes you a bad mother. What I'm saying is that it is your own decision and responsibility. This is not that you're not married. Don't push it and say because your husband has to make a compromise. Don't have that debate. I'm hoping and wishing that everybody has a partner who understands how important it is to be a joint job.
Teamwork.
But once you're a mom, you're a mother. I know, I've seen mothers shed tears because, they've had to bring their children to the hospital for
So
being
in your
abused.
view,
It's not about your
that
husband.
lady, the celebrity woman in question, should have stayed home.
Take full responsibility. So if she had we've not heard her side. It might be that the caregiver that she gave the child to is her support system, and she's certain that they will do well. Okay. And this man is just making noise that I want you to sit down. So we've not heard her side.
Right. Okay.
But if this system is not a sure one, it's not a guaranteed one that works well, you have to stay home.
Let me take this call. Morning, are you there?
Yeah, good morning, Murad.
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
People are really rating my car this morning.
I'm so sorry about
But
that.
nonetheless, no problem. Please, can you permit me to start from the issue of the one who is not interested if our child learns Yoruba?
Go ahead.
It is the problem of the person in future. By His grace, today I subtitle movies from Yoruba to English. If my parents had stopped me from speaking Yoruba in those days, it would be their own problem today, because it's on call for when somebody says, I don't want my child to speak Yoruba. I keep telling my wife that speaking English for my child today doesn't mean my child will not speak Yoruba. My child has to learn our language in future. It is compulsory. And then again, the marriage issue. Those people who come on social media to say this is what happened between my family and this and this. It is also their problem in future. Because the people posting or commenting on that thing, they will comment something that will add to the problem. And then you agree with me that it is the people who are just joining Facebook or all those social media used to do all those kind of things most.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Because they don't have much understanding about this, and they're shocking. Yoruba says, so
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Interestingly, my husband speaks better English than I do, and he spoke Yoruba for the first, I think, until secondary school. All throughout, he said, Mura, I was learning English in school. But today, he speaks better English
Statistics.
than I do.
So
I was speaking English in the house, and my English, obviously, is very colloquial.
Speaking your mother tongue makes adopting a new language easier for you, because you're always on the interpretation side of things.
This guy is
Wole
saying,
Soyinka became Nobel laureate, and he speaks very...
I said my father, if you heard my father speak Yoruba, no mistake. His English, impeccable.
All right.
So it's possible to balance the two.
Right.
And it's just, I think
Colonial
it's very
mentality.
important that we learn.
Right. Let's go on a quick break.
Languages.
When we come back, we'll continue the conversation on either of the issues. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So, still on the issue of the marriage, there's an angle of finances you're going to talk about?
Yes. I said usually we have the stories of when a man says to the wife, okay, you stay home and don't do this work that earns you money for the family, and I'll go to work. But then there's no financial What is it? No, not financial. There's no, you don't sort of make up for it financially. So
doesn't provide.
income is leaving the home. The standard of living in the home falls because, you know, that income that the woman usually brings has been taken out. People don't like to watch the Kardashians, but I do. And she mentioned Kim Kardashian mentioned that there was a time she was supposed to do a particular job for another company that was in direct competition with her husband's company. And her husband gave her the money that they were meant to pay her.
$100 million.
So she does not, you know, stand for that brand. And I think maybe sometimes we should look at that. We should not just make it like a form of putting the wife down.
Yeah,
Let's also make it...
financially rewarding.
yeah, financially rewarding for the wife to make some sacrifices.
But the truth is that some men just say these things casually without even thinking of the financial implication.
Yeah.
They'll say, stay home. When it now comes stay home, how much are you really going to be giving her for her upkeep?
Honestly, I've seen, in fact, recently, dealt with men whose insecurities were why they didn't want their women to have anything to
Simple.
do. It's not because of anything,
Financial
but I always say to the women, are we going to be having this battle of let me have what I want at the expense
Of the children.
of your children? You are the mother.
So what would you advise? You should sacrifice and stay home?
I would. I'm
Okay.
not going to judge any woman
Right.
who had to, but I would hate that something happened to a child while we're having
Okay,
that
pause
debate.
for a second. So, for
understand?
example, the man in question now gives you 20,000 naira every month. Are you saying that because of the sacrifice you want to make, you accept the 20,000 and manage it? Is that what you're saying?
Morayo, if my children's welfare becomes a problem
Right.
to my career, or one is going to give that my career is now, my children's welfare is now at risk of me
Right.
pushing for my career, I'm going to drop that career. Because
You didn't answer my question.
no,
Let's put it in
I'm saying to you,
perspective.
that's it.
Mama
I will
gets
take 20,000.
So you take 20,000
I will take
and manage
it.
it. Okay.
But if my children are well protected, are provided and secured, maybe I have a mom or somewhere I
Right.
can leave them, and I'm sure they are safe. I can access them. I can do a lot of things. I would, of course, I would not take that amount of money.
Okay,
just
gotcha.
so that I'll be
Let me take this
disempowered.
call and I'll come to you,
But
Waike.
don't.
Thanks for calling. Are you there?
Hello, good morning.
Morning. Go ahead, please.
Please, good morning. My first time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Okay, thank you. Concerning the mother tongue of a thing,
Okay.
I love you so much. It's good to know your mother tongue. But you know what? Concerning the mother tongue of a thing, I love you so much. I love you so much because in my home, my children normally speak the dialect with bad dialect. Then when they are in school, they speak English, and they are up to the standard before they are mates. So then going down to our own real dialect, when we are so young, our grandmother taught us how to speak in our mother dialect because she's living with us. So one day went to our village, and people are making jest of us. Where are they being these little rats, these kids? And we are listening to them, they are abusing us. And I just asked, I say, Kian soy. I say,
Ekiti, Morayo's
so
people.
these people can speak their dialect. So it's good. You not be a way. You be at least your people. You know how to speak your mother dialect. It's very good. I love it.
Thank you very much. Waike was something concerning our...
I really love what you say, but it just shows that the languages are important.
Right.
And we shouldn't push our languages
Away.
to the side. Because let me tell you, even on this set, we have done that. We have left speaking mother tongue to speaking about those two who are putting their lives on social media. And that's the truth. We have, instead of discussing this topic, which I think is really a hot topic as well, we are discussing, not that their lives...
We're not talking about the couple, we're talking about the issue.
know,
Because people are...
the issue.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm saying the issue is important. I'm not saying the issue is not important.
Right.
But we have felt
We feel like it's easier to relegate things like mother
that
tongue,
to...
you know.
So we have done that on this set. So let's just keep that as food for thought.
All right. Okay.
But back to that, I was going
Right.
to say that even Oyinbo people, the husbands, you have stay-at-home dads.
Yes.
And the wives go to work. The wife is the career woman.
That's not an African concept.
It's not an African concept because
Professor
when
Digbewu
I've seen it.
Professor Digbewu Dani, you want to wear the trouser and give him wrapper.
I've seen it. You know, and because I'm from this part of the world and I see stay-at-home dads, I'm looking.
I mean, it doesn't
I totally understand that, but you see, but there are lots of women right now in pain. They've been doing so well in their careers and they've sacrificed that for the family. And they want out. They want the husband to understand that, listen, I want to do something. So a lot of men are saying, no, stay at home. How much is the man putting down? Okay, you used to earn 250,000 naira a month. He's giving you 100,000 naira or 70,000 naira a month. Can you manage that? The woman feels that, listen,
Best managers, Omurayo.
Sorry?
We are the best managers.
See, I think if
Don't
you
assume
separate
that.
it,
Some women
are
have...
the best. See, separate issues, separate the issues. Have your dream. Take care of your child. Separate them. Imagine that you became widowed very early and you didn't even have a man paying you that amount of money. Or that you have to go... I've seen women who are still in court trying to get maintenance.
No, Nima, let me give you this perspective.
Yes,
I think the thing is, if you are both working, and let's say you could afford a particular sort of school for your children, and you lived in a certain area, and because you have to stop working, that school you cannot afford for your children, so you have to look for something cheaper and not as good as that one. So you see, those are the things that may have to drop because you have chosen to stay at home. But now you have to make it important that both of you agree that this is a sacrifice that one of you is willing to take. And my own question is, must it be the wife that has to take that sacrifice?
That's a question for another day.
The man also wants to
let me-
do that.
That's a question for another
Let me
day.
put this
Yes.
into, because
Wait, we have to run over, but let me
yeah,
try.
the mother is the nurturer. Whether you like it or not, a mother is the nurturer. Now, a lot of children are sexually abused and they do not say anything.
Yeah.
They will not say anything till they grow up.
Hey.
They may now say it maybe at 50
Mikey, we can't continue this.
because the mother was
Wasn't
not
there.
there. Now, that child will resent that mother.
Yes.
Mikey, I don't agree with you. In fact, we need to do part 2 of this. Because there's some mothers that sacrificed. They stayed all through.
They are pressing
Listen, the children are older now. The mother feels like she's done nothing. They've gone out, they've married, had their own kids. She's alone in the house.
That
She
person is
feels-
an ungrateful mother.
That,
When you
no, the
count your
mother,
blessings
the
in
mother
the
right now.
fulfillment of your children. It's the way you see it. Like you said, you get someone the advice. The way you see it.
A mother is a
I
natural.
would love
Okay,
to see my
unfortunately,
children
we have to wrap-
well-balanced
we have to
life.
wrap up.
In Ghana, they call it motherland. They don't call it fatherland. Though.
We have to run on. Thank
Maybe
you,
it's
ladies.
because you are from Nigeria and it's
Unfortunately,
fatherland.
that's all
Yeah.
we can take on the show today. Thank you very much, YK. Tomorrow is another day. Have a fabulous day. See you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.